Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another live trading webinar. I hope you are doing great. Larry said, good morning, Theo. Good morning, Larry. Roland, how are you doing? Good morning from Roland. Maria said, good morning, all. Good morning, Maria. Nicholas said, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Nicholas. Mogil, good morning to you and everyone. Mogil was asking me last night to keep the webinar. Yes, I'm sure you enjoy it. Rumen said, hi, everyone. Hello, Rumen. Nick and Ibrahim both said, good morning. Ute, how are you doing? Good morning, friends from Ute. Radolf said, good morning, Theo. Good morning, Radolf and William. How are you doing? Good morning, William. For those who missed the webinar last night, I had the privilege to interview one amazing trader, I can say, and an educator, that's Sunil. And we had a so nice discussion, and he explained so well how he trades, what he is trading, and so on. The team will edit it, and of course we will upload it on the YouTube channel. Just be patient with that. Ruben said, good morning, Theo, and commented that the webinar was excellent. Fantastic. Marcelinus said, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Marcelinus. Mohammed said, good morning, bro. Good morning, Mohammed. How are you doing? So, ladies and gentlemen, without taking more time, let's move on. And this content is for general information only and is not intended to provide trading or investment advice or any personal recommendations. And for those who are new here, and especially on YouTube, we have our website, admiralmarkets.com. You can press on the analytics button, and here at Weekly Trading Podcast, you can find the fundamental analysis for the week. You can listen it in the way you prefer. And of course, please make sure you download the mobile application. And if you don't have an account with us at Admirals, you can create a demo account to start with. And when you feel ready, you can fund your account. Ibrahim said, check your mic, Theo. Guys, is that any problem with the sound? I'm waiting. Darshkan, good morning, young man. Okay, guys, I will be waiting a few seconds to tell me if there is any problem with the mic. Some few seconds before. Now it's okay. Let me just move it a little bit away. What about now? Is it sound better? Now it's good. Better. Yes. Okay. So I take into consideration that the mic is fine. Now let's move it just a little bit away. So perfect. So Ibrahim, I hope you are fine with the mic. And for those who are watching us from YouTube, just make sure you let me know if you have any difficulties. Roman said, okay. Guys, remember that today is the non-fund payrolls, and non-fund payrolls bring extreme volatility in the market. I won't hide it from you that I remember, it was sometime during COVID, and I think at the early stages, I used to live in Australia back then. I wasn't even in Cyprus, and I remember I opened one trade. It was on a short time frames, and I saw my account going to a minus 1,000 euro on that Friday just because of the non-fund payroll. But although it was a position trading, it wasn't any kind of intraday or scalping, of course. But again, just to be in front of the screen and see that fluctuation, it takes sometimes your breath away. Okay. I used to trade with very large sizes because I was trading and back then for other people's money as well. So be careful. The message is to be careful and cautious if you're gonna decide that non-fund payroll is the ideal way to trade for you. For me, I don't trade the news. I don't like to trade the news. I mentioned it many times. I'm a technical trader. If I do scalping, I do it for a specific reason, and only I look for a specific thing based on the market and based on the market structure and the fundamental core of the Forex market, which I tell them every time here on this webinar. So pound against the US dollar, what's happened yesterday with the dollar? If you guys remember something from yesterday's webinar, it was very clear that this is a downtrend and the market came at an area of possible resistance. And don't get caught by the color of the candle. I told you, for price to go down in a downtrend, first it has to come upwards. Which part of this you cannot register? Price is moving in waves, up and down. When you see a move towards the upside in a downtrend, there is a reason for that. But we need to wait for some confirmation to start shorting the market. It's not a sound reason alone to buy any dip in the market within a downtrend. We sell the corrections. Let me go through some comments here. Ute said, Theo, can you please look at daily 4-hour chart on NGAS? Yes. Mr. Carlos, good morning. Neither. Ibrahim said, tell me about it, Theo. Big neg is very stressful. Yeah. Syria comment. You asked to feel feedback. Sergey, about feedback, please leave it. You can copy and paste it after I end the webinar, because feedbacks on the charts or anything on the charts, they don't save, and I don't have any reference to go back to this chart on Zoom. Okay. Okay, so next one, euro against the US dollar. Yesterday, daily chart, we commented that price might broke outside of this trend line, but we are still in a downtrend. First sign is first sign of a bullish market is a break outside of a trend line, of course. But here there are multiple resistance, and it looks like that this breakout was a false breakout. Now, again, non-fund payroll week, like the current week, usually cause the market to move sideways. Okay. And if there is a strong trend in the market, then most likely it's going to be maintained. But you see, today, if downtrend will be intact, today we might see a continuation to the downside. But it's one of the events that really, it's a lacking event. And for those who don't understand this, what is a non-farm payroll? Grab your pen and papers. What is a non-farm payroll event? Guys, in the US, they announced how many new payrolls added. By the way, I shouldn't say that now because I explained this stuff on the podcast and I hope you listen to the podcast. So, Darshan, yes, pays the cows do not care. So how many new payrolls added to the US economy when? That's the key for traders. When? The previous month, not this month. The non-farm payroll number will be announced today. It's regarding the new jobs they've been added to the US economy when? 1 month ago. It's an old event. Maybe these people, they got hired 1 month ago, maybe maybe other people, but another number of payrolls, they've been deducted now. They've been fired from the US economy this month. So understand this, non-farm payroll event is a lagging event. Aha. Okay. Interest rates, it's a leading indicator for the Forex market because when they announce interest rates, they say what will be the interest rate, the new interest rate from now on. But the non-farm payroll is how many jobs have been added 1 month ago. And maybe 50 years ago, that was very relevant because more people, they were hired than those they were fired from the jobs. But with this pace with these things they going on work now and the last years, that's not the case. Okay, understand this, think about it. That's not my opinion. That's what is written on the calendars, and try to see how can you use if you are a fundamental trader, try to see how can you use this in your trading. For me, the non-farm payroll, consumer price index, the trade balance, the gross domestic product event, and many other more, the lagging events that, and a lagging fundamental event, it's the event that it's the event that they announce the number now, they announce the outcome now, but based on 1 month ago operation. So how can it be a leading event? Okay, I hope it makes sense. So this back to the chart, euro against the US dollar. It looks like the market price came back below this downward trend line. So leaves traded with a question mark. Was this now a false breakout? Maybe yes, because price market is in a downtrend, but there is a support here. What happened? It's what we call prices compressing below a downward trend line and above a horizontal support. So it's a question mark here. Australian dollar, US dollar. That's a clear one. Now, what's the thing with this market? Here, it was a resistance line, and Here we can see that there is a kind of support. So there is a kind of limited room for this market to move downwards. Again, not very clear, but it shows direction. Sorry, not very clear. It's clear in terms of direction, but it doesn't give that that move for the price to move that can favor a high probability trade for a retail trader like us. Next one, Kiwi against the US dollar. Multiple rejections happen since Wednesday from this resistance. We do expect to see continuation, and there is fairly some room for some trades to the downside, and that can be capitalized on the lower time frames, not on the higher time frames, based on the daily market structure. USD JPY, the market yesterday didn't maintain the buyers and sellers to control. They make a new low here. Now it's within this range, nothing clear, no high probability trade can be plan can be used for this particular currency pair. USD Canadian dollar, that was a good one. We spoke since this bearish engulfing pattern. We spoke about that, and we said that the room for this bearish engulfing to come all the way here, it's one, you risk one to make 1.5%. For some traders, it's an exceptional reward to risk. For me, it's not. So personally, I won't get involved in this one on the daily chart. But if you find, let's say, the 4-hour chart or the hourly chart, they give some lucrative opportunities, especially during the New York session, or even the lower time frames if you're trading lower time frame. So how could you utilize the daily chart information? That was the bearish engulfing here. I remember I told you a few ways to trade the 4-hour chart, especially when we see these long bodies on the candles. When you identify the direction on the daily chart and you know that you want to sell on the 4-hour chart, very often we see the price move in such a strong momentum, and the correction usually happens in the Sydney session, and during the Asian session, it's very small. What do we mean very small correction? It means there are 2-3 candles within the New York session large candle. That's one of the most powerful ways to trade. That's where the money flows. That's where the market is hitting. So traders on the New York session, they sold off that much the US dollar against the Canadian dollar. And during the Sydney and the Asian session, we saw very small activity. We didn't have a new high. So a sell stop here, maybe a stop loss above there or wherever you think is appropriate. Stop loss here, maybe entry there, and you go for 2-to-1, 3-to-1 if you have a room to go that much. For me, sells. USD CHF, the Swiss franc was very weak, and the sell-off didn't continue. So this hammer candle here from the support, remember we explained it yesterday, and it pushed to the upside. I wasn't keen to trade it. Now there is another area of resistance, so there is very small room for the price to move. Remember, in this particular currency pair on the daily chart, once we identified this downward momentum, we said that, yeah, currencies, they tend to retrace at the least 50 to 61.8% of their move before they continue, if they're going to continue. So it was a kind of trade here we took and exit at 61.8 FIB retracement. Next one, Euro JPY. False breakout yesterday. Price made a new high, new close, but divergences here and bearish candle put the price below this line here, this support. So very messy here in directionless. Pound JPY, again, within, actually all the Japanese yen pairs are within these ranges. You see, CAD JPY, we talked that on the intraday yesterday, this could be used for some shorts that could be very good for intraday. I explained you how to identify and utilize some opportunities on the intraday, like there is a strong daily support here, very strong daily support. So on the lower time frames, we do expect to see some reaction. Okay, and again, you don't go like from here. That was yesterday around 4 p.m. So it was 4 p.m. broker time, just right at the 8 a.m. New York, 9 a.m. New York time. So 5-minute chart, price came all the way close to that resistance, and multiple rejection candles here, or this impulse move and then retracement, bearish engulfing, sold off. That's how you can play the intraday. Intraday doesn't mean I open any currency pair I want, any chart I feel good about it, and I try to squeeze an opportunity there. No, we have to use a structure. We have to be consistent and methodical with the intraday chart, same way we are with the higher time frame analysis. And executions, next one, this QE, very messy. Again, someone will tell me, let's say you see this doji candle here, and you're going to tell me after 2 weeks, if we're going to see a break to the downside, hey, Theo, if we were trading that doji candle, guys, pay attention to this, because that's how traders behave. And most likely you also behave, especially if you are, if you just started, or if you have just some experience with candlesticks and trading patterns. If you see this move now, you see this chart here, and it's a messy chart. We identify, we see price action here, but we don't take it in consideration, because we learned that a price action within a flat range, it's very unpredictable and messy. Now, if a breakout occur and we mark this as a market structure swing, and we consider it as a low, a lower low, and we take this as a high and this one as a lower high, someone will blame themselves like they didn't take this trade here because it was the beginning of the move. But how could you know that this setup will be the beginning of the move? So you have to understand what you do and what you're looking for a trading setup. If you gonna blame yourself that that was the ideal setup and you missed the trade, when you are in this type of markets, you must create a plan and set of rules to trade these markets. Otherwise, you can't blame yourself and nothing because you didn't participate in this trade. Is that clear, traders? Marco Polo, you asked to put watermark on MetaTrader. I don't know how to do it. If you know, please let me know. Thank you for that. Hayao said, good morning. Ruben, 3 minutes to London Open. Okay. Ruben said, I don't see the time of the news release of the non-farm payroll today. It's at 3:30 broker time, so 8:30 a.m. New York time and 1:30 p.m. London time. Florin asks, so why it is moving markets so much, the non-farm payrolls? Not they move the market, it's volatility comes that time in the market. It's the swing, it's anticipation. Traders, they think that there is a way to make fast money around news events. And also banks take advantage of that, and big corporations that they maybe trade millions and hundreds of millions on a trading funds, hedge funds. So, and yes, the market, it's going to be, maybe it's going to move, let's say within 5 seconds, 20 pips upwards, and then 20 pips downwards, then 50 pips upwards, and continue to a direction. Who knows? But as a retail trader, using stop losses, or even worse, not using stop losses, and low funded account, high leverages, it just most of the time causes problems. So, what did I press here? DAX 40, 5 minutes, rejection here. I'm on the DAX, 5 minutes for the London Open. I place a sell stop below this low here. And ideally, this today, the swing I can see, is up here to place a buy stop order. But from the current price, it's about 40 pips. So at the London Open, 40 pips, if the market moves 40 pips, it's too much. It's too much of a move. So it's not an ideal reward, and it's not a high probability trade to place it right at this top. So I will stick with this sell stop order for today. Non-farm payrolls, again, we don't know what the markets they're gonna do at the open. Darshan asked, am I positioning myself for a next USD JPY entry yielding over 100 pips? Is it quite uncertain right now? Yes, it is. Yes, along is imminent. I agree with you, but I always prefer to go a little bit on the safe side to place the orders once there is a structure that I can understand. Price approaches the sell stop order. Let's see if the price will break below. Let's check the gold and the N gas, of course. Gold on the daily chart. As we marked the channel yesterday, as we created this channel yesterday on the 4-hour chart, we see that the price is trading below the channel line. That's the upper line. It's still bullish, this one here, because the market create this upward directional move. Yesterday, price action on the daily chart was that inside below the channel. It's a nice channel here in terms of, not in terms of drawing, but in terms of price stays and respect the upper and lower trend lines. Someone asked for the N gas. N gas. Here is N gas. For our chart, we commented yesterday, sorry, daily chart, we commented yesterday that price bounced above this channel, this upward, sorry, it's not the channel, this upward trend line. It still traded a bit higher. However, I remember I mentioned that here it's a strong area, actually from here, and it goes all the way there because we have two candles opposite, they want each other. It's a strong area of resistance here, and we might see some price rejection. On the weekly chart, though, it's in this, it looks like it's showing that round bottom, this round bottom here, and it takes a long time to build. Of course, I can see the N gas moving around up to $5 myself. That's where I target it. Back to the DAX. It moved around 5 pips from our 5 points from our entry. Roland resistance at the 15,914. 15,9. Whatever is any price below the current price, guys, is considered as support. Any price above current price is considered as resistance. Let's see if the price will continue dropping. Any currency pairs or any other market you would like to see some analysis, guys, please let me know. Maria said, I think today is a good day for an adventure and something new and interesting than bring ourselves by beating ourselves. Yes, exactly. Ute, thanks, said thanks a lot. You are very welcome. Ruben asked about stochastic. Now, stochastic indicator, it's again very powerful indicator, although I prefer the RSI because it has the 14 period, and I'm fine with that. On the RSI 955, the reason they use traders, they use this on the 4-hour chart, and they don't use, I think it's 7.3 something. They don't use the original, the default settings, and they just increase them a little bit, is because they want to delay the swings. That's all. It takes more candles, more closing candles to build this this number. So that's pretty much the reason. M321, that's okay. We say that this strategy is not suitable for everyone, and the reason I see the markets, there is the way I trade the markets, it's different from other traders. Some traders, we trade the same, some other not. It's totally fine. Please make sure you follow rules that they are appropriate to your risk appetite, to the way you think the markets are moving, and that's totally fine. There is no right and wrong in this one here. Okay. For those they think that this market is flat and they want to get out of the trade on break even or whatever, it's absolutely fine. So for me, this trade, if it's gonna come and take this high here, I will scratch it out. If it's gonna keep dropping, I will take my 10 points and that's it. Again, remember, statistically, during the non-farm payroll week, the markets, they are a bit choppy. In general, the opens, remember, end of the month or first week of the month, sometimes the markets are extremely difficult. So saying that, I will leave you with this, guys. Thank you all for your participation. I hope you gain a lot of value out of these webinars, and I wish to everyone to have a fantastic weekend, take some rest, and I look forward to see you again on Monday at the same time. Thank you so much.